This past Wednesday at 5:37 p.m., we received an email from Amazon letting us know they are immediately closing our vendor account. We've been working with them ever since my first book was published in 2011, 15 years ago. Back then, they were called CreateSpace, who later merged with Kindle Direct Publishing rather than Amazon having two companies doing the same thing. Since then, I've written and illustrated 45 books. Thanks to all of you, I've been an Amazon bestseller a few times, and consistently rank high on their LGBTQ books list every Pride Month. But as of Wednesday evening, all 45 of my books are gone from Amazon, and the retailers they distributed to, including Barnes & Noble and Walmart. They never gave us any warning this was about to happen, as they promised to do in their terms of service. They never even explained what we did wrong. We asked them a few times now what we did specifically, but no one in their legal department has offered us any explanation yet. They've dodged the question many times now while answering other questions in our emails. Since they won't tell us what happened, we looked at the timeline of events. Back in 2011, my first 4 books were all about the music industry. Since then, I've published 39 education books about the LGBTQ community. From a dictionary, Pride Flags Guide, a book to help you make your organization more inclusive, a few children's books, and more. But my most recent 2 books, Red Hats and Grifter in Chief, were about Donald Trump. As some of you may know, both of those books spoke out against the orange dictator. That second book, Grifter in Chief, came out on January 30th of this year, along with our documentary of the same name. Thanks to all of you, we sold quite a few copies of that book in its opening week. Normally the royalties wouldn't get to us until 2 months later, but at the time everything seemed normal. Our sales of these anti-Trump books also continued to climb in February and March of this year, as Trump started wars in Venezuela and Iran. In a few days from now, we would normally see our first royalty check from that new Grifter in Chief book. And here is where we realized why Amazon banned us right now. In their emails, they state over and over again that they're not even paying us for what we already sold. If you purchased any of my books on Amazon, Walmart, or other major retailers in the past 2 months, Amazon has unilaterally decided that I am not entitled to any royalties on those sales. That means I spent the past 15 years writing thousands of pages of content and designing my own cover art. I did all of my own marketing, sending my followers to their website to buy those books, but I will never see a penny from those sales. They claim any royalties they already paid us for January 2026 and further back were already paid, and thus we get to keep that money. How generous of them, right? But for any sales we made after February 1st, 2026, including any sales for that new book, Grifter in Chief, that was published just 2 days prior to that, we get absolutely nothing. For the record, our legal advisors have painstakingly gone through every line of their terms of service and determined we did not break a single one of their rules ever. So all of this appears to be because Amazon wants to protect Trump's feelings and stop anyone from talking bad about him, especially when you consider the timeline of when they stopped paying royalties to us. In total, Amazon stole hundreds of dollars from me this month alone. I guess suppressing anti-Trump authors is their way of recouping some of the $75 million they gave Donald Trump to make a documentary about his wife that only sold about $7 million in tickets so far. And I guess stealing hundreds of dollars from authors who speak out against him and removing any anti-Trump books from their store helps Amazon get some sort of tax cut this year. For the record, Amazon made $717 billion last year alone, and pays $0 in taxes, so I don't know how much lower they want to get. So if you purchased one of my books directly on Amazon in the past 2 months, please return it for a full refund. They've already said they will not sell any of my books again, so if you're able to get a refund, they'll have no other choice but to throw the copy away. Instead, you can buy a copy of the same book on my website, ProfessorPride.com, using the coupon code FUCKAMAZON for 10% off all of my books. This way, we actually get a royalty for all of my hard work, and Amazon gets stuck with the bill of printing a copy they are now unable to resell by their own decision. But this is only while supplies last, or until May 31st of this year. Amazon manufactured all of our books though, so another huge downside to this is we can't even buy more copies of our own books right now when we run low. The good news is we found another publisher who we're starting to work with called Barnes & Noble. We've submitted our first 5 books to their publishing company, but then we hit another hiccup. Barnes & Noble limits us to 5 books per week and 10 per month. This means it will take us 5 months to upload all of our books to their platform, and still will only be on the second largest book retail website. Even then, Amazon used to distribute all of our books to Walmart and others. Now all of that is gone too. We'll only have Barnes & Noble and our own website at ProfessorPry.com, so we will never fully recover from this. We would like to mention that Barnes & Noble is offering some things that Amazon never did, so we will eventually be able to have hardcover copies available of my children's books, which Amazon could never do. But that is the only plus side to this whole situation. Amazon stole hundreds of dollars of my royalties. It's going to take us 5 months to somewhat recover and dozens of hours to redo formatting, and they've severely hurt our business going forward. Not just for these coming few months online, but since we normally place massive orders for copies of our books in April to stockpile them for our June Pride Month season, and now reordering some of those books won't be available until August, it means they've limited our capacity to do in-person events like Pride events in June. So here is how we plan to overcome this. If you purchase my books directly on Amazon after February 1st, 2026, please return your books for a full refund from Amazon if you still can. Second, please support us on ProfessorPry.com using the coupon code FUCKAMAZON for 10% off all of my books while supplies last or until May 31st, 2026, whichever comes first. If a book you want is out of stock, please know we're working as fast as we can to get our books on Barnes & Noble shelves, and we're ordering as quickly as we can to restock our inventory here for our own website. As they become available, we'll be posting updates to our community page on YouTube and our Facebook page. So be sure to subscribe and be on the lookout for those updates as they come. I'm also going to leave a second link down below so you can get yourself an official PBR gift card. That way, whenever those books become available in the next couple months here, you'll be the first in line to get your copy when they're restocked. But in the meantime, please support us on ProfessorPry.com however you can. Luckily, we have more reliable manufacturers on our mugs, hats, bracelets, necklaces, decorations, pins, and a whole lot more available on our website at any time. And right now, we could really use whatever support we can get. For those wondering, we are discussing our options with our legal team. But in the meantime, we needed to start working on a long-term solution, so we never had to rely on Amazon again. I even looked it up. We used to spend thousands of dollars every year on office supplies and author copies of our books from Amazon. But now, our team is working quickly to find other suppliers so Amazon will never see another penny from us ever again. Lastly, I wanted to say thank you to everyone who got any of our books over the years. Thank you for making me an Amazon bestseller, and thank you for your continued support once we're back in full operation. We greatly appreciate your understanding and your support through this difficult situation, and I hope in the end we come out better than ever before. Oh, and if anyone from Amazon is watching, YouTube still lets us publish whatever we want, so to Amazon's legal team, fuck off for bending the knee to Donald Trump once again. I really hope a tax cut and stroking his tiny ego are worth the downfall of free speech and the downfall of the country who supplies a majority of your revenue.
Powered by rainbows, the learning never stops. So be sure to subscribe or check out our shop. Much love and rainbows.